Alrighty guys, we got the game camera on, and this time we are on the dealer's side of a blackjack table. And you might be asking yourself why the Learn to Play Craps guy has got a blackjack table and why is he teaching us how to do blackjack stuff. Well, if you notice, again, we are on the dealer's side, and I wanted to let some people know exactly how this works. A lot of people have written me letters and emails and asked me a bunch of really good questions about how dealing works and how it all comes together. So when you want to go work in the casino industry, you got to go to dealer's school. If you haven't already worked in the casino, you have to go to a dealer's school and get a certification or some accreditation that says you know how to do this stuff. It is an industry where there's a lot of policies and procedures, and you have to know all those things backwards and forwards and how it pertains to every single move that's going on the game that you happen to be dealing. So when you want to be a craps dealer, or if you have an inkling to be a craps dealer, guess what? You got to learn blackjack first. And there's a lot of stuff over here on the blackjack table that will actually help you be a better craps dealer when you understand a few of the payoffs and how things work and how the checks work. Checks meaning the chips here in front of us. Basically, what we're going to do is the first thing, you go to dealer's school, one of the first things they do is hand you a deck of cards, and they want to see you shuffle those cards. So most people will sit down, once they get the cards in front of them, they grab them just like this, and then they shuffle them just like they were taught when they were playing Go Fish as kids and stuff, and they think they've got it all figured out. That's a good shuffle there, and then maybe they've got the bridge figured out so they can do that. And you know, they do it a couple times really quick to see how fast they can get a couple of those shuffles in like that and make it look real good. Well, I got to tell you right now, that's an improper shuffle, and they're going to laugh at you because they laughed at me the first time I went to dealer school and picked up a deck of cards and mangled them like that. Number one, when you shuffle in the cards like that, these things are made out of paper. These things are not made out of metal. They're made out of paper, and they're nice and lightweight. It doesn't take very much to get them to do whatever you want to do with these cards. You can make them do all kinds of things with just your fingertips and a little bit of lightweight touching. If you grab the cards and you start flipping them like this, I'm bending these cards. I'm creasing them. I'm going to do the same thing on this side when I'm going like, oh my gosh, I'm mangling these cards. The pit boss out there is going to freak if he sees anybody mangle these cards and handle them like that. I've actually got them full. You can see a crease in that one right there from actually somebody grabbing these cards, and you know, they see that they're not quite flat, so they strip them like this and they go like this. They bend them like that. Well, that's what that's from right there. Somebody grabbed this deck and they bent it, and they bent a little bit too far, and they bent up a couple of those cards in there. So that's not even a deck that we can use if we're playing in a real casino. We'd have to call a pit boss and say, give me a new deck. My hands sweat a lot, and I didn't like dealing blackjack that much because I would ruin decks of cards. If you had me on the game for an hour and 20 minutes, this thing's like a sponge, and it'll sit there and soak up all of the sweat that's in your hands, and by the time I get done with them and the next dealer comes in, the thing stands about this high. The cards are completely mangled. So you got to understand these cards are made out of paper. They're really nice cards when you get them brand new, and that's not how you shuffle cards. I'm going to open up a brand new deck of cards here. These are from Paulson Gaming in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the same company that prints up cards for casinos all over the country and all over the world, actually. It's also where we got our casino chips from back in the day. You could actually go to Paulson Gaming and purchase casino chips off the shelves there, and you can't do that anymore, unfortunately. But you get a brand new deck of cards. That's how we open them in the casino. Just give them a little squeeze like that, and that seal pops right there. They're going to pull off the top card here, which is a joker. They're going to pull off the bottom card, which is also a joker. And then they're going to take out this deck of cards. And the pit boss, when he does this for you, he's going to spread these cards out face up, just like this. He's going to spread them all the way out there like that. I did a terrible job, but he's going to spread them all out. And you have to go through it. Ace deuce, and you're going to make sure all the suits and all the numbers are there. Once in a while, we'll get a card that's either missing or out of place, or maybe there's two aces or something. That doesn't happen very often, but I've seen it. Brand new deck of cards pops open, and there's something awry, and we have to start over again. I'll spread them across the other side like this. You got to look at the backs of the cards too. You got to make sure there's no marks on them. Make sure there's no identifying marks that will give a player an edge when they're looking at the cards and see something face down and they know what it is because it has a mark on it. Got to take a look at all these cards, and then they have you do something called washing the deck. I'm washing my deck of cards right now, and I'm washing the deck. This is something they're going to make you do. Once you get it all washed, these cards are brand new, and they're nice and slippery, and they slide all over the place. There's a couple different ways that you can get these things to lay down flat. I just, you know, for the shuffle purposes here, we're going to show you guys from the first one. You walk up to a blackjack game and the cards have already been played with, that's what they're going to look like. Usually when you go to a blackjack table, they're going to be spread out just like that. The last dealer that was there spread them out for you. So now you're going to take them when it's your turn and there's players there. You don't touch the cards when there's no players out there. But when there's players out there and they have money bet and everything, you are going to be dealing the cards. So you step up to the game and you gather up the cards. When I gather the cards, I use my ring finger. Right here, my ring finger goes on the outside long ways of the deck, and then I use my index finger and my middle finger on the front, and then my thumb here on the back side that's on my side. So that's how I properly grab. I don't use my pinkies at all. Some dealers use their pinkies, they get in there and use. I don't use my pinkies at all. I get a deck, when I grab a deck like that, I go just like this. The layout that we're on, the table we're on, it's got a lot of cush to it. There's a whole lot of cush here, and you're able to do a lot of moving these cards around and getting to do things and stuff with this cush that's on there. You can make some, oh shit.